What's up? Welcome into your Buckeye Rush Hour for a Friday. Let's finish the week strong. Friday, May 19th, 2023. How's everybody doing today? Hop in the chat. You know, the chat drives this show. Get your comments and questions in here, and I'll read them. And we'll see what you guys want to talk about. The topic I have set up for today is, what are the best and worst recruiting flips, so could go both ways, of the Ryan Day era? So guys we lost, guys we gained. So kind of a comparison. You know, we've lost some dudes, like especially some high-end defensive players since 2019. But we've also gained some dudes like quarterbacks, you know. So we all remember Herb. I mean, you can't talk flipping without talking about the master griller, Urban Meyer, right? Some of the guys I remember, he flipped Taylor Decker. He was committed to Notre Dame. Garyon Conley flipped him from Michigan. Dontre Wilson flipped him from Oregon. Who else? Jerome Baker. He was committed to Florida. Mike Weber, another Michigan commit that we flipped over. I think Brandon Bowen was committed to Utah. So that's just a few of them. But in the Ryan Day era, I'm going to run through a list here. Let's talk guys we lost here first. All right. So starting in 2019, this one really hurt. High 4-star, almost a 5-star. The safety Jordan Battle from St. Thomas Aquinas, program we usually do pretty well in. We also lost Doug Nestor, a guard out of West Virginia. He was a high 4-star. Samson James, remember him, the running back? He was a 4-star. Dwan Mathis, the quarterback. What's that guy up to? He was a 4-star. And Kane Patterson, linebacker. I really liked him coming out of Tennessee. Remember, he flipped to Clemson. Then in the 2020 class, that was a lot. That was like some quality that we lost in that 19 class. Now in the 20 class, this one was a kick in the sack too. Clark Phillips III. Let's call him Clark 3 Sticks. Legend Cavazos, another 4-star, both of those guys. Phillips was almost a 5. Legend Cavazos, the corner. Darvon Hubbard, running back. Jake Ray, tackle from Marietta, Georgia. All right, let's talk 2021. Only 2 in the 21 class. Tamisi Adeleye, remember him, the DN, went to A&M. He was part of that big class that they had of 5 stars. He was almost a 5-star. He was a 9.811. And then Devonta Smith, Cincinnati, he was a corner. Lost him as well. Then in the 22 class, this is my point. We lost a lot of defense. Jaheim Singletary, 5-star out of Jacksonville. Lost him. Dasan McCullough, edge rusher / linebacker, high 4-star, almost a 5-star. Terrence Brooks, the corner out of Little Elm, Texas, high 4-star. And then Benji Gosnell, a tight end out of Virginia. Lost him too. All right, so then let's finish up with this 23 class. It's fresh in our minds, right? Dijon Johnson, don't call me Grey Poupon, out of Tampa. Lost him. He was a 4-star. Mark Fletcher, the running back, well documented, well discussed, 4-star out of South Florida. He was from American Heritage. Kayan Lee, the corner, big deal there too, 4-star. Ty Lockwood, the tight end, 4-star. And then Brock Glenn, the quarterback, he wasn't really committed that long. Anyway, he flipped to Florida State. So that's who we lost. Let's talk about who we gained. Who's in the chat? Oh, we got guys in the chat already. What's up, Billy? What's up, Derpy? Still no decision on QB1? No. Derpy's got a question already. All right, I'll jump on that. Should Ryan be fired if he fails to deliver again this year? What do you consider deliver? What's delivering? is delivering beating Michigan, is delivering going 12-0 and winning the Big Ten, or is delivering a national championship, or all of the above. Got to define our terms. Derpy says, I think the worst one will be Jeremiah Smith if he flips. Yeah, that's going to be a problem for sure. But Heartline doesn't get too many flips away from the Buckeyes. Derpy says, personally, from what I saw at spring game, I don't trust any of those guys in the QB room at QB1. Well, you only saw Kyle McCord in the spring game. So anyway, let's talk guys that we have flipped. Now, we flipped our share of guys. I know it. I just read off a bunch of quality guys, especially on the defensive side of the ball, but we flipped some guys over here to our side. And 2019, let's go back there. Tommy Eichenberg, ever heard of him? Middle linebacker, decommitted from Boston College, flipped to the Buckeyes. 2019, running back Marcus Crowley, decommitted from Miami. He was the Gatorade Player of the Year in Florida that year. 2019, safety Bryson Shaw, decommitted from Wisconsin. Some of these are a walk down memory lane, right? 2020, corner Ryan Watts was committed to Oklahoma. 2020, tackle four-star Grant Toutant, decommitted from Penn State. That's an in-conference flip. I'll take that. 2020, wide receiver Mookie Cooper, decommitted from Texas. 2020, running back Maya Williams, decommitted from Iowa State. So some serious quality in that 2020 class that flipped over to us. 2021, we got two guys right here that are going to make an impact on this season probably. 2021 corner Jordan Hancock, decommitted from Clemson. Always love taking somebody from Clemson, right? 2021 tackle Zen Michalski, decommitted from Louisville. Some of these are, I realize they're secondary schools. They're not Bama or Georgia or something, but let's go 22 class. Quarterback Devin Brown, decommitted from USC. It's a pretty good steal to get somebody out of USC. 2022 Keon Grays, the wide receiver, decommitted from Arizona. 22 offensive lineman Avery Henry decommits from Iowa State, also cancer-free currently. Good news. And in the 23 class, again, we flip another quarterback 2 years in a row. Lincoln Keenholz, whatever, flipped from Washington to Ohio State. 23 wide receiver Brandon Ennis decommits from Oklahoma Sooners. A lot of people forget that. 2023 cornerback Calvin Simpson Hunt decommits from Texas Tech. And 23 defensive lineman Josh Mickens decommitted from LSU. So what do you guys think? Best, worst? Any that stick out to you? Some of them that really hurt. You always remember the ones that hurt, right? You don't remember the good guys that we got, like Mayan Williams or Tommy Eichenberg. We forget that, those guys were actually committed to another program, Ryan Watts, I wish he would have stayed. That dude had some length. He was like freaking 6'3". Who else here? Crowley, that injury, man, those knee injuries, that was too much. Not sure. I thought about Justin Fields. I'm not sure if you can consider him a flip or not, but if you want to, go right ahead. A couple guys we're working on in this 2024 class, by the way. You got the safety Peyton Woodyard out of St. John Bosco, 6'2", 188, currently at Georgia commit. We also took a swing at the quarterback Julian Sayin, current Alabama commit. And some other guys here and there, but those are the guys that in the 24 class we're really we went after. Woodyard, we're still after. Yeah. Smith. What about going back to what was the corner? Dijon Johnson. I was surprised he decommitted. Kayan Lee, that really hurt, losing a safety and a corner in that class. And our secondary recruiting has been terrible since 2018 anyways. It's just now getting back on track in the last couple of classes. But and of course, Mark Fletcher, that really hurt the running back room. We could use the, well, we don't really need the depth now, but it looked like it was going to be a major issue. Jaheim Singletary, again, he could have started last year in place of Hancock or Burke when they were out injured. Remember, we had two freshman corners starting against Wisconsin last year. Desan McCullough, another defensive player that really hurt. Terrence Brooks, the other corner in that class. So we lost two corners in the 22 class. And then you got Kayan Lee, that's 3. And then you got Devonta Smith out of Cincy, Clark Phillips III, Legend Cavazos. I'm not sure he was good enough. I wasn't a big fan. So right there is four corners. Those really freaking hurt, man. Oh yeah, R.I.P. Jim Brown. Just heard that in the last half hour. 87 though. That's a good life lived. I liked his style of play. Highlights, I didn't see him play in person. Yeah. So what do you guys think? You want to talk about something else? You want to talk more about flips? Let's see if we can get some more people in the chat. Don't think Jeff and Sean will be joining today, but yeah, some of those defensive flips really are coming back to haunt us, especially the 4 in a row there, and the safeties, couple of safeties, man. Son McCullough, man, that dude, we really could have used an edge rusher in that class. But yeah, I agree. We really haven't had a real linebacker since Shazier. Not a freaky one, that's for sure. We've had good ones. Baron Browning, would have been nice to get him on the field a little bit more, right? He was a 5-star. So many guys. Not a lot of offensive weapons have tried to flip. I mean, you got Dwan Mathis, quarterback. Buckeyes were kind of out on him anyways, because that was let's see, Ryan Day would have been part of that recruitment. I don't think he was really interested in Dwan Mathis. Yeah, we haven't really lost much on offense. Lost any flips, really. A tight end here and there, a low 4-star running back, almost a 3-star really. Mark Fletcher, the running back from American Heritage. That one was rough because we didn't get any in that class, but yeah, not getting any. Yeah, if we want to talk strictly recruiting, not getting any of those DNs in the last class was horrific. I don't get it. I don't know. I know everybody wants to say it was NIL related, but it's not entirely that. There's more to it than that. That's just kind of a lazy take to paint it with a broad brush, you know. Yeah, we got Will Smith and Jason Moore. He's going to be a tackle. Will Smith, maybe an end. I don't know. He's 260, 6'3", 260. I bet you he moves inside. And then Joshua Mickens, he's kind of an edge, but he's only 6'3". And they're talking about using him as a jack at some point. And you also got the other D tackle, Caden McDonald out of Georgia. He's 6'3". So yeah, that's the extent of our commits from the 23 class. Yeah, having Laurinaitis on staff does help going forward in recruiting. again, we need to get him promoted. Maybe we can start a petition to Ryan Day and get Laurinaitis promoted to a full-time assistant so he can get out on the road and recruitmentship. Parker Lewis, I'm not sure he's landing too many recruits for us. I think, Billy, the reason that we don't see linebackers dominate as much is because of the style of offenses that we go against. Spread offenses, you got to take a linebacker off the field, and sometimes take two off the field, depending on how many wideouts you have. Yeah, Tommy's good, and yeah, he diagnoses the plays quickly, so that helps, with that anticipation. Kind of like James Laurinaitis, really, when he played, he was not a fast guy. He was not super athletic, but his instincts and his read and react speeds helped him get there faster, where maybe a fast guy is slower to react, So yeah, I would say Tommy's a lot like a Laurinaitis. Same with a tough Borland. Borland was not as athletic as those two, that's for sure. But he could diagnose a play and get people lined up for the most part. Travis, Io, what's up, Travis? Good to see you. What's been going on? How's your weekend looking? Getting off work or not going to work today? Yeah, running backs aren't what they used to be either. I agree. Anybody watching the golf, the PGA Championship? Golf is like my one old white guy sport that I'll still watch. Mostly the majors, but I'll watch some other tournaments here and there. But I don't watch baseball anymore. I haven't watched a baseball game in probably 12, 15 years at least, something like that. Just not so long to watch baseball, and it's so, I don't know. You could say the same thing about golf. I get it, but I don't know. There's just zero action in baseball, just a lot of standing around. And I don't really care about baseball. What's up in golf? Oh, who's up? We got Corey Connors leading or tied with Scotty Scheffler and Victor Hovland at 4 under. And we got Keegan Bradley at 3 under. And Kim, I'm looking at it sideways, kind of at -2. Some of the big guns are not looking good. Spieth not looking good. JT, Justin Thomas not looking good. So, yeah. I got a leaderboard right here, actually. Justin Suh is -2. Don't know that guy. Justin Rose, getting old, -1. Yeah. Bryson DeChambeau, one of the live golfers, he's -1. And scrolling, Dustin Johnson, another live golfer, he's +1. So you can see the scores are not fantastic. Yeah, that's typical for this tournament up in Rochester, New York now this year. Patrick Cantlay +1. Colin Morikawa +1. So, all right, Travis, got an interesting comment here. Travis says, I've been thinking about this. I know we're afraid to run a 4-3 because of the spread offenses, but doesn't UGA run a 3-4? Yeah, but their ends are more like linebackers. They're not like 260-pound guys. Their ends are smaller. Sometimes they'll do a regular D end and then a walkout linebacker, something like that. So yeah, they don't use 2 true D ends like 2 Chase Youngs or something like that. It's more of a smaller size linebacker and a traditional D end, depending on strong side, weak side. The audio is not as loud as it could be. Well, I have the microphone right in front of me. Anybody else having issues with the audio? Check, check, check. I'll check into that. Hopefully everybody's hearing me okay. I have the microphone right in front of me. It is plugged in. I did check that. Hopefully, my computer's not killing itself. Oh, the battery's getting low. But well, we're gonna go till about 5 o'clock here. Let me know if you guys want to talk about something. You got any comments or questions? Not, I guess the flips idea did not go very far for us. Got a recruiting show coming out tomorrow on the Daily Blitz, so be warned. We took a few days off from the recruiting. I think Tuesday or Wednesday was my last recruiting show, so took a little break. Sunday night, we're going to talk about Ryan Day. Will he be on the hot seat if he loses 3 in a row to Michigan? Me, Jeff, and Sean are going to break that down. Okay, Travis, I see you. Travis says, but if their front 7 can work against passing offenses, why can't ours? Just a different level of athlete at linebacker. Yeah, it is definitely a different level of athlete at linebacker. It really depends on the offense you're going against. You know, if you're going to go against a run heavy offense that's running a lot of double tight ends, then you're going to have to bring in a bigger linebacker if you're running a 3-4, you know, and somebody that's going to eat up blocks and stuff. But I understand your point that a 3-4 for Georgia works, but look at how many 5-stars they have on defense. You know, their athletes are not like the rest of the athletes in the country on defense. Billy says that I think the personnel has to be built a little differently in a 3-4. Yeah, definitely. Scheme has to be tweaked. I don't know the intricacies of the 3-4 as much as the 4-3, but I do know that it depends on how many receivers the offense is running out or how many tight ends. You know, if they're coming out with 11 personnel with 1 running back, 1 tight end, and then a bunch of receivers, you got to adjust as a defense. Forget scheme, like forget 3-4. You got to go to a nickel package, you know, bring in an extra DB, take a linebacker off the field. So yeah, it's you can't just sit in a 3-4 when the other team is running out a bunch of fast dudes, you know, and going against a running game like a Michigan or something like that. You probably got to take one of those smaller linebackers like a strong side and bring in a bigger linebacker, you know, to fill gaps, those run gaps and stuff. So I don't foresee Ohio State changing just because I don't know what's the reason. Why would you change your offensive or your defensive scheme? I don't see the advantage. Players had hard enough time learning a new scheme last year, and it cost us in some cases. So I think just constantly changing defensive scheme is not the way to go. Let these guys get a couple of years under their belts with one scheme. I mean, and Travis says, I feel like we changed our defense to win a natty, but it's hurting us against power run teams like Team Up North. Well, Team Up North game, most of their touchdowns were on big plays, pass plays. I know late they had a Donovan Edwards run, but most of their big plays were just JJ chucking it downfield, and their offensive coordinator schemed us up, got mismatches. Cam Martinez matched up on a much faster guy. Then you had Cam Brown not make a tackle in a 0 blitz where he had no safety help and he had to make the play, at least get the stop, if not stop the ball. So, you know, just changing the defense again and again and again is not the solution, man. I'm telling you. We've had what, 4 defensive coordinators in the last 3-4 years. You know, you got to get these guys some consistency. I don't know. I couldn't imagine. Let's say they change the offense every year. You know, brought in a different OC. You know, and you end up with like we did in 2015, no 2017 with Ed Warner and Tim Beck calling plays. You know, that we saw that was a clusterfuck. So I think we have the guys. Obviously, missing out on defensive players in recruiting does catch up with us, as we saw in the secondary and the edge rushers. But just constantly changing scheme can only do so much, you know. John Hatfield, what's up? Oh, great. Buckeye Scoop. Those guys owe me some money, man. Fuck those guys. I'm not a fan of Kirk Barton and Nevada Nuts. Anyways, I'll read your comment, John. It's nothing personal against you. Buckeye Scoop had an interesting take. What do you think about getting a Polynesian coach on staff to help recruit more big body Polynesian players like Oregon and USC? I don't. How many staffs have Polynesian guys on their recruiting? I don't know if that really does anything for me. I don't think Polynesian players are the only answer. There's plenty of big bodied dudes in the South. Just look at the Gulf Coast, Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana. There's a lot of big, quick dudes in the South, and there's some up north too. But I think we need to utilize our staff as it is and go get the guys that we need. Larry Johnson does well, especially in the DMV, does okay in Florida and got some guys out of Texas, you know, Amari Abor, Kenyatta Jackson. I don't think just Polynesian is that's very specific. And Oregon and USC do not bring in big dudes. I would take a D tackle from the South before a D tackle from California for the most part. You know, so I'm not on board with the Polynesian thing. I mean, my ex-wife actually is Polynesian, and she's from Samoa, and she taught me all about, you know, the different islands and what last names are associated with different islands, you know, Tonga, Samoa, Hawaii, all those. So I'm well aware of the Polynesian culture. Her brother actually looked like The Rock in the face. Like he had the same hair, same look, but he was obviously not The Rock or anything close to that size. But anyway, side note, nobody cares. Billy says second year of Knowles will tell us a lot. Yeah. I think the players will be comfortable, all the returning players. I think the young guys will get coached by the older guys as well, not just the staff. Travis says if Hafley gets fired from BC after the season, any chance we can bring him back? He had our DBs playing really well. I agree. I would not worry about bringing guys back all the time. It's rare that you're going to bring a coach back from a previous staff. And Perry Eliano and Tim Walton are no slouches. These guys are good corners and safeties coaches. Just constantly bringing guys back is not the answer. You know, I think Tim Walton, I mean, if there's a better endorsement than Jalen Ramsey saying Tim Walton is the best coach he ever had, I don't know what that could be. So, and Perry Eliano, you know, he's got a track record of cranking out NFL talent, you know, and that was at Cincinnati. I like Jeff Hafley, great scheme, but he was also, you know, defensive coordinator. So not just a position coach. What else we have here? Billy, the point was it's harder for us to recruit the big boys in the South. Yeah, I get that. I understand that it's hard to recruit boys in the South, but don't forget, we have D-line grad assistant, Alan Clark. He's from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He's a little bit younger. He's in his like late 20s. He's under 30. And he's, like I said, from Baton Rouge. So let him get some contacts with some guys down there and see if he can help in the recruiting efforts like Laurinaitis. Laurinaitis is the same thing. You know, they're allowed to make phone calls, text messages. They just can't get out on the road. So they can make all these contacts. And same with the future of the D-line position, you know, the coach, you know, if it's Randall Joyner from Ole Miss, he's definitely a solid recruiter. He's mostly in Texas and the Southeast, you know, like Louisiana and Mississippi, but I think he's useful. So those guys, I think we can get the guys out of the South. It's going to be tough, but Florida. Oh, what's up, PC? It's all right. You can go back and watch it later. We're about to sign off. It's a little bit after 5, but good to see you, PC. Yeah, you can get caught up in the chat. But anyways, yeah, I think we're getting guys. We're getting guys on the D line. We just got to amp it up. Like we need 4 D tackles, 4 D ends in this class. Anything less is. Yeah, PC says Joyner will help a lot with the recruiting in the South. Definitely. Yeah. So, yeah, I think we have the guys and the scheme and the coaching to be a top 5 defense this year. So, I'm going to do a show about that actually, and give you guys some stats like what our goals should be to be a top 5 defense. You know, yards per game, passing yards allowed per game, points per game, all that stuff. I'll run through those. I've done it before. We've talked about the progress of the defense through last year. So I'll do another show about that. Billy says top 1 or 2. Yeah, I'll take that too. I think top 5 is I'll accept top 5. And no reason you can't win a national championship with a top 5 defense. You know, so. All right, boys. I'm going to get back to the golf and probably pour a shot. I think I might pour some Eagle Rare. Sounds good. Get your evening started. But hope everybody's having a good one. Have a good weekend. What else do we have going on? 2 shows on Sunday. Don't forget the Daily Blitz first thing in the morning, and then 8 p.m. Eastern, a YouTube Live. Me, Jeff, and Sean, we're going to talk about Ryan Day. Is Ryan Day on the hot seat if he loses to Michigan in 2023? So, all right. Appreciate you guys. Talk to you later. Go Bucks.